killer who never crossed county lines. Between 1989 and 2001, 14 people were murdered in the same county in the American Midwest. Same method, same wounds, same signature. But here's what makes this case different. The FBI was never allowed to investigate, not because they didn't want to, not because they didn't know, but because the killer never crossed county lines, and someone made sure he never had to. This is the story of a small town where a serial killer didn't hide from the system. He worked inside it. Redfield, Iowa, is the kind of place people describe as quiet, safe, and forgettable. A population of just over 2,000 people. One high school, one diner, one police department. For decades, violent crime was almost non-existent. People left their doors unlocked. Kids rode their bikes at night. Everyone trusted everyone. That's why the first death didn't raise suspicion. A county road maintenance worker was found dead in his garage in late 1989. Police ruled it a suicide. The man had struggled financially. He had recently gone through a divorce. The case was closed within 48 hours. No autopsy was requested. No one questioned it. The second death happened 8 months later. Another county employee. This time, a woman who worked in the records office. She was found at the bottom of her basement stairs. Police called it an accident, a fall, bad luck. But there was something strange. Both victims had been working late nights in the weeks before their deaths. Both had recently requested access to archived county files. At the time, no one connected the dots. The third death made it harder to ignore. A utility supervisor was found in his truck on a rural road. No skid marks, no sign of a crash. His death was ruled a heart attack. But during the autopsy, a medical examiner noticed something unusual. A small symbol carved into the skin near the rib cage. A square with a single line through it. It was documented, then quietly ignored. Over the next 4 years, more people died, always within the same county, always employees or contractors connected to county operations. Roads, zoning, records, utilities. Some deaths were ruled accidents, others suicides. A few were called natural causes, but the pattern became undeniable. 14 deaths. 14 people with access to internal county information, and every single one had the same symbol carved into their skin. The square, the line. Rumors began spreading through Redfield. People whispered about a killer, about someone cleaning house, about secrets buried in county files. Local police publicly denied any connection. Privately, some officers were terrified because whoever was doing this knew things. Police response times, shift changes, blind spots. The murders always happened during narrow windows, moments when no patrol units were nearby, moments when dispatch was understaffed, moments that only someone inside the system would understand. In 1996, an outside detective from a neighboring county was invited to review the cases. Within a week, he reached a disturbing conclusion. The killer had law enforcement training, possibly current or former. When he submitted his findings, the invitation was revoked. He was told the county would handle it internally. He was never contacted again. A local journalist decided to investigate on her own. She filed public records requests. She uncovered sealed disciplinary reports involving a senior county official. The documents suggested misuse of authority, threats, cover-ups. 2 days before her article was scheduled to run, her house burned down. The fire was ruled accidental. No suspects were identified. The story was never published. Fear settled over Redfield. People stopped asking questions. Families of victims were told to let it go. Witnesses recanted statements. Evidence disappeared, and the killings continued until suddenly they stopped. In 2001, the deaths ended as quietly as they had begun. No announcement, no arrest, no explanation. Internally, one change had occurred. A senior officer retired. His name appeared repeatedly in internal memos, always circled, always followed by notes questioning jurisdiction. But without crossing county lines, federal authorities had no power, and local authorities had no interest. The man lived quietly for another 13 years. No investigations followed him, no charges were filed. In 2014, he died peacefully in his sleep. His obituary praised his decades of service. He was buried with full honors. The case was never reopened. Today, the official records still list 14 unrelated deaths. No serial killer, no pattern, no mistakes. But in Redfield, people remember. They remember the symbol. They remember the silence. And they remember the years when no one felt safe, even though nothing was ever officially wrong. Because some killers don't need to run. They don't need to hide. They just need protection.